Are you ready for a prophetic adventure? Are you ready for extreme faith combined with extreme sport? This is Prayer Walk, where we follow a courageous woman that has set out to walk all across the borders of Norway to pray for the land. And yes, the nature and the weather in Norway is not tamed, so this is going to be a real challenge. And if you want to follow that journey, then I will be reporting on the real struggles, the tears, the challenges, the joys, the blessings and breakthroughs every Sunday. So stay tuned. It is the 4th of February and we are digging into the new year. I am here, my name is Emmanuel, and I'm going to give you the latest updates of the prayer walk. And since last time, there's been some interesting things going on. And one of those things is that the prayer walker, Janne Christine, she has been on the TV, starting to present her project. And doing that in a way that is reaching out to a large number of Christians in Norway. She had been invited for a while to join in on certain programs, but just suddenly it was there and she was on. And this show, it was a prophetic, angle of praying for Norway. And she was not the only one, but it was a group of people praying and prophesying and, just focusing in on Norway. And she got to tell a little bit about her story and what she is doing and the project in general. And we are hoping that this is going to grow the knowledge, the awareness of the project in Norway in such a way that more people will get engaged, more people will get on fire. People that are already feeling the fire will be connected to, a larger body of people wanting the same, like believers uniting for a common cause, the same cause. And we know that that is causing multiplication. That is something that God loves. He likes that. When we come together, 2 or 3, He is with us. And it is also said that, one beats 1,000, 2 beats 10,000. I don't know if it's exactly like that, but that is kind of like the message in it. And when we gather, when we unite in spirit and truth and invite our living God, then it is powerful stuff. And so that process has started. And, before Christmas, Janne Christine, the prayer walker, and I was talking about, the fact that we were expecting her to start walking around the borders very quickly, but it just didn't go that way. And we got the sense that you have to spend more time up in the mountainous area and really work on establishing the throne of God there. And so it became more and more clear that, yes, you can't do anything else. You have to do that first. And then there was another task, and that was to reach out to people, to engage a larger body of believers in the same thought and for the same cause and for God on this purpose. And we didn't know how, and we didn't really, start planning, trying to find a way to do it, but it was just something that we felt in our spirits that has to happen. And out of the blue, she started to be invited, and people would ask her to join in different gatherings, and she would share. And through that, she is now starting, because this TV show that she was on, that's just the beginning. They want her back. They want more of the story. They want to partake in her journey, and they want to share prayers, and, they want to be a part of it. And that is fantastic. I am recording. I am, giving my reports on what is going on, and I will continue doing that. but I don't have the big networks in Norway. I don't have the big networks in international areas either, but bit by bit it's growing. And I'm doing this in English so that it will be available for those that are interested outside of Norway. And so with this show that has been, and with the shows that are coming through that Norwegian channel, it's called Channel 10, just so you know. It is in Norwegian. And that is a shame, because I know there's quite a lot of people that are interested. They would like to watch it and understand what is being said, and they don't know Norwegian. So this is one of the things that I am now just putting out there in case somebody is listening to this file, to this recording, and they are familiar with how YouTube works, and they know both English and Norwegian, and would like to help put subtitles on the show. Cut out the important parts and put English subtitles. If that is something that you could do, and you know how to do, and you would like to help do that, it would be awesome. Because we do have people outside of Norway that is starting to be interested in what is going on. What are you guys doing up there? And that is amazing, and we would like to share all that we are doing in English as well, if possible. And that leads me to a vision that not only I had, but I think Janne Christine was the one that had it as well. Because last September we were praying, and at 2 occasions a vision of a Viking ship came up. And a Viking ship, of course, it speaks of an expedition. It speaks of a revived Viking spirit, not the one that is plundering the innocent people and stealing and raping and doing bad stuff, but a spirit of courage and going out there and plundering the enemy, taking back what was supposed to be for the light, what was supposed to belong to God. And so that kind of spirit is definitely something that we can relate to. And it is something that I think is growing in Norway these days. Jane Hammond and Tom Hammond has been visiting Norway for many years now, and they come every year because they love Norway. And Jane Hammond, she actually has Norwegian ancestors. So she is coming back, and one of the things that she is focusing on every time, it seems, is that Norwegian Viking spirit, to get it back up again. We're good people, we are polite, and we are laid back and friendly, but we have this core of integrity, and we just don't settle for anything that is not, we're not willing to compromise for the wrong things. That is something that is still very strong in the core of the Norwegian soul, to say it that way. I know the modern times are coming and people are getting more sleazy and this and that, but there is still this Puritanian integrity, to say it that way, in our core, and we pray that it will continue, that it will be intensified and strengthened. And that is kind of like where that revived Viking spirit can come out from. It is that knowledge of truth and integrity with God, and that we are not going to accept any bullshit. We are not going to see bad stuff happen and not do anything. Not on my watch. It is our job to be on the active side, with God on our side, of course, but to act in faith and go after the good things that we're supposed to have, not only for us, but for others as well. And so in this vision of the Viking ship, I saw it was so big, it was so large, because I saw this, I don't know what you call it, but it's lots of planks put together so that you can walk directly into the ship. It's not a stairway, but it's flat. And so I saw this thing. It was docked to a harbor, The ship was just laying there, and people were starting to walk into the ship. And those people walking in were like ants. They were so small compared to the ship. So it was a rather big Viking ship. But it was still just at the harbor. But what it speaks of is that there is a mission going on. There is a large movement in God. Something that is about this Viking spirit coming up again. And each individual is very small in that, in that realm, because this is a large ministry, a large mission that is so much bigger than you and me. But it's still just in the preparation mode. But on the other hand, we know what a Viking ship does. It goes out to foreign nations to plunder evil in this case. And so taking back what belongs to God, what belongs to, the servants of God, that is a part of the mission. And also to reach out outside of Norwegian borders, outside of Norway as a country. We are doing something up here, and we enjoy what we are doing up here, and there's fire in it, and it's developing, and it's, unfolding, and it's exciting. And we also want to engage other people in other countries to get part of that kind of spirit, that kind of fire. I'm sure there's lots of fire and good stuff out there already. I know it is. But we're going to be a part of lighting up that fire so that it will be even more. And I also had something that came up again and again. And I got that confirmed from several people I was talking to, and that is, for so many years, Norway has been good friends with America. And Norwegian Christians, well, they have looked to America as well. They got inspiration from the US, the big preachers, the prosperity, the initiative, the go do it, and new thoughts of freedom and life. And it's been good spiritual food that we have engaged in. We have loved to take it in. I'm not saying that everyone has liked it. There's different levels, and not everything has been good, but in general, we have looked to our big brother, and we have been eating the spiritual food that has been served through America, and we liked it. And so it is coming to that time where we as Norwegians, as believers in Norway, have digested what we have eaten. We liked it, and we have digested it, and through it we have come up with something new. We have integrated the nurturing wisdom and the nutrients from all the good food we have eaten, and we have integrated it with the Norwegian inheritance. So that means the Viking spirit, that integrity, the fellowship, awareness of, like just this thought of us being a huge community. So there are certain things in the Norwegian spirit that is so specific, and it's our signature, if you want. And we have taken now the things that we have eaten from America, the good stuff that God has provided for us, and integrated it with the Norwegian spirit. And so out of that is coming some new exciting food that we are going to serve back, not only to America, but to all nations that want it. This is something that God has pleasure in. I truly believe so. Because we have been given freedom and abundance and so many good things from America that was perhaps a little bit difficult for us to embrace in Norway as it is. But as we got that, it gave life to some of those core values that are so deeply founded in our nation. And it is time for that light to shine and to be spread. And that's how we can come back to this Viking ship. Because what we are stirring up in Norway now, and I'm not talking about the prayer walk only, this is something that is way bigger than that. I do believe there are lots of different projects going on, stuff that I have no idea of. But I do believe that all of these things are going to get on board on this Viking ship together. And we're going to go and be influencers out in the world. It's going to be a part of adding our flavor to the spiritual food. There's lots of good, wonderful food out there already, but we're going to add that Norwegian tradition, that Norwegian flavor to it, just to make the abundance even greater. And so that our personal space or our personal taste, from Norway, is going to be there as well, because somebody is going to need that, and it needs to be a part of the big mix. So I find this exciting, and that brings me back to the video again. Like Janne Christine, she's going on TV. She's going to continue to be on different Norwegian TV shows, and if we could have subtitles in English on these videos, it would be amazing. It would be a part of starting that process of reaching out with the things that we are doing up here in Norway. And yeah, maybe there's tons of other people doing it as well. I hope so. I certainly hope so. And we need all of them. And the Viking spirit, well, we just have to see where it's going to go. It's going to be interesting to see what more God is going to do in this. Except from that, Janne Christine has been into a intense period of meeting people and praying together with people and fasting and all that. And it is the preparation, because as I've said earlier, she is preparing to walk around the Vågåvatnet, a lake that is close to her. And we do expect that this is going to be breaking the enemy line so that she can start taking territory in the mountainous area next to. And I can't say that there's a big troll in these mountains, but there is a force, and it is related to these kind of troll-like qualities. And there is a force that's been battling in this area for a long time. And so we are getting excited to get to that point where this is being dealt with. And so to follow that, I will come back next week, and I will keep telling you, I suppose, until next week she has been started doing that walk. And it's going to be interesting to see how that is going to go. And we do expect that this journey, like not only going around the lake, but the mountains as well, what she is starting to work on right now is going to affect either the economy in Norway that is linked to the oil and things like that, or the religious wars, like, Islam versus Christianity, refugees that are either becoming Christians or integrating with their faith in a good way, or stand in opposition in the spiritual realm. So these kind of topics, we suspect that it's going to have an effect on it, but we don't know. This is spiritual connections. We don't really know where the connections are, and it's going to be exciting to see. Will it have an effect? And will it have an effect in this area or the other one, or something else that we didn't expect? We cannot prove, of course, that yes, it was like this, but we can discern in the spirit, and we can confirm by people that don't know about the things that I am speaking of now, coming and telling and saying. And I mean, when you work in the spirit, you learn to know, and to know that you know. And even though we are not 100% sure, it is still that leading of God that we have to just walk in faith. And so by that, this show is over for today, and I am so glad you came by and listened. As I said, I will be back next Sunday as long as I'm able to. And the times are 10 a.m. US Pacific time, which means 1 p.m. in Florida, 18 o'clock in UK London, and 19 o'clock in Central Europe. I want to thank Kevin MacLeod. He is the one making the music that I'm playing. It's free licensed music from incompetech.com. And I've also played some birdsong, and that comes from listeningearth.com. Be blessed. I'll be back next week. Until then, have an awesome time and know that God really, really loves you.